How do you explain that?
Just lucky, I guess. My older son, Joe Hill, has written 3 novels, and one's just going to be published here in Germany. It's called Nosferatu, I think. Is that the German name? And they make wonderful Christmas presents. So you can buy 2 or 3. Owen has a book of short stories and a novel called Double Feature. Tabby has actually published 7 novels. And Owen's wife, Kelly, has published 3 different novels. And they're all terrific. And man, I don't know how it happened, but I'm glad it did.
Could you elaborate on the secret of how one turns children into writer? Ich könnte mir vorstellen, viele im Publikum möchten wissen, wie man durch magische Kindererziehung aus Kindern Autoren macht.
You crack the whip over them and say, if you write, you eat. You know what? Actually, what I did was nothing at all. Just, we live in a world of books. Our house is full of books, and Tabby and I read a lot, and so they thought that it was okay to do that. And early on, they discovered comic books, Spider-Man, The Avengers, G.I. Joe, and I read those suckers to those kids by the ton. And so my mom read to me, Tabby and I read to our kids, they read to their kids, and that's the way it goes.
Das Geheimnis, sagt Stephen King, sei ein Beispiel setzen. Seine Kinder seien in einem Haus aufgewachsen, wo gelesen wurde, und sie hätten dann eben selber zu lesen begonnen, Comicbücher, und so wie seine Mutter ihm vorgelesen habe, so habe Tabby und er ihren Kindern vorgelesen, und das präge eben doch. If I remember correctly, at the age of 10, you found books that were left by your father to your mother and your older brother and yourself, your father who left them when you were 2.
Yeah.
These were a special kind of books. They were horror novels, among them H.P. Lovecraft, for example. With what kind of feelings did you read that?
Well, they were just for me. I knew when I saw them. There were these boxes of paperbacks, there were the H.P. Lovecraft things, there were magazines from the 40s and 50s with these monsters that had 1,000 eyes crawling out of the grave, and I thought, I love this. I mean, listen, people have said to me all my life, why do you write that shit? And my answer is always, why do you think I have any choice? You get what you get, and I've always loved the monsters in the movies, and I grow up and get a little bit older and try to grow up with the material and try to do new things with it.
Als ob eine Wahl habe bei den Themen. Das ist immer die Frage, die zurücksuffliert, wenn Stephen King gefragt wird, warum schreiben Sie denn über Monster und so weiter. Nein, als er diesen geheimen Büchervorrat, den sein Vater da hinterlassen hatte, entdeckte mit den Pulp-Magazinen, mit den glubschäugigen Monstern, war ihm völlig klar, das ist das, was ich liebe, und darüber möchte ich schreiben. Was it in a way also your way to connect with your absent father, who had written stories as well?
Yeah, he did write stories as well, so it's a kind of genetic thing. It went from my father to me, and it's gone to my sons. But, so I think there is a genetic element involved with it, but I don't think anybody understands how much creativity is passed on and how much of it's part of, you know, it's that old question of, is it nature or is it nurture? Is it your family? Is it your genes? You know, who the hell really knows? But I will tell you one thing. This is the most beautiful goddamn place I've ever been in. The only thing that would make it better is if we had Angus and Malcolm to open for us.
Also, ob es jetzt an der Genetik liegt, bisher nicht genau, aber sicher ist, dass er ein Talent hat, das sein Vater hatte, das durch ihn an seine Kinder weitergegeben wurde. Und die alte Frage Natur oder doch Erziehung, die muss er offen lassen. Auf jeden Fall möchte Stephen King betonen, was für ein schöner, zauberhafter Ort hier ist. Well, of course, to many people worldwide, Germany is the home of horror. These are two reasons, obviously.
Hey, he said it, not me.
Ich war immer gerne der Wespenschmutzer. Nein, das liegt natürlich zum einen an den Gebrüdern Grimm und ihren Märchen, the fairy tales of the Grimm brothers, and the Holocaust and the Nazis. I have to ask you, with what kinds of thoughts, with what kinds of feelings does Stephen King come to Germany? You are for the first time here. This is your very first day.
Well, yes, it really is my first day. In a way, it's my second day. I went to Ramstein Air Base to talk to wounded soldiers, but Ramstein is like America. Okay? I mean, the Air Force Inn is connected to a mall. I ate at Johnny Rockets. I had a burger, and, fries, and so that's like America. But then we take off and we come to what I call Munich, and you call what? München? I know, it's funny to hear Americans try to talk German. It's like, yeah, it's like trying to watch white people have fun. Kind of a good time here. I'm almost lost track of the question now. You don't need to translate any of that shit. Here's the thing. I know Germany from books, I know Germany from movies, and the only thing that I really wanted after we landed was German food, because, sausages and Wiener Schnitzel, did I say that right? I'm trying my ass off here to get in good with the audience, So I would like to do that. I would like to, I think that I would like to have I'd like to have a tour of a castle. I think there are castles here somewhere, but I love the scenery. And you know what? I love the Autobahn because you can go just as fucking fast as you want.
You've come to the right state in Germany.
But the thing is, as a writer, I know that you don't ever take a first impression as the truth. So that if I was going to really get into the whole German thing, I'd have to be here a couple of months, and I'll stay with you. No, not really.
I guess.
They are the best fairy tales in the world in Germany, and they're really dark and they're really nasty, and I just absolutely love that. So.
Also, tiefschürfende Betrachtungen über das deutsche Wesen anzustellen, müsste Stephen King, sagt er, dann doch schon ein paar Monate hier sich einquartieren, aber so viel möchte er doch sagen, dass jenseits der Autobahn und jenseits der Schlösser, die er mal besichtigen möchte, doch diese Märchen die besten der Welt seien, diese dunklen, düsteren Märchen. There is a German word in English, like kindergarten, like Zeitgeist, the good old German word of Heimat. Now we...
Heimat?
Heimat.
Heimat.
This is where your home is. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's a difficult term, it's more than home. We, Stephen King readers, we have been growing up on reading the sentence on the flap of your book covers. He lives and writes in Bangor, Maine, where he feels he belongs. Why do you belong to Bangor, Maine?
Well, I don't think that I did at first. I grew up south of there in a little tiny town where there were no tarred roads. It was all dirt and small houses. Nobody with very much money. And later, I decided, after I was making a living as a writer, I had an idea that I wanted to write a story about a haunted city. And I had two choices. There was Portland, which is a big city that's down in the southern part of the state, and there's Bangor, which is up north. And you can make fun of my German pronunciation, but it isn't Bangor.
Sorry?
It's Bangor. David Letterman used to have a joke. Bangor, I don't even know her.